Hello, welcome back. This is the Freddy in the Shed 2 part. I've just gone through and made the intro for Freddy in the Shed 1, but I can be a lot more relaxed now on Freddy in the Shed 2. I am really excited. I haven't built a steam engine for over a year. I've really had the itch to do it, but I've been doing so much radio stuff. Work has been totally crazy through the COVID-19 situation, and finally now I've got the time to build a steam engine. I'm absolutely so excited. I'm like a big child on Christmas morning, and here it is. This is the D11 Wilesco steam engine with the Meccano kind of pumping model that goes on the side. Absolutely blown away again by the quality of the Wilesco construction of these sort of kits. Just by opening it up, there's the sort of boiler, really nicely finished, sort of all polished, chromed, and it's got the large sight glass on the front of the boiler that I really like. So this is a Freddy in the Shed 2 video. I will probably make 2 videos, and so I'll go through it. We'll show you the build, how I'm going to put this together. I will fast forward a few things, but like before, if I get stuck or I find something particularly difficult, I will sort of slow it down and take you through it, because I know there will be some people that are watching this video that would like to have a go at building one of these kits themselves. If you fancy it, I would say definitely go for it. It is a little bit tricky. Some of these things I found, they are quite sort of intricate, if you like. You do need a delicate touch. There's lots of little tiny nuts and bolts, but it is just nut and bolt work. And okay, yeah, they do supply you with very basic spanners and tools, but it's obviously best if you've got your own. But yeah, I would you know, don't be put off even by my amateurish approach, and I can't even pronounce that word. Don't be put off by it. These kits are pretty easy to build. This static steam engine shouldn't really be too much of a problem. Everything normally lines up. All of the bolts and the screws have decent threads on them. I've not had to re-tap anything. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing this. I've been kind of waiting to do this for weeks now, literally weeks and weeks. I'm just like a big kid, you know, 50-year-old big kid. So this Wilesco, I mean, it comes with, as you can see, you've got this sort of Meccano arrangement here for which would be the pumping engine. It's just a model. It doesn't pump anything. Yeah, I'm not that sure about leaving this as plain metal. I kind of think it looks a bit unfinished. I don't know what you guys think, but I like the way that everything is painted enamelled sort of blue here, and the base is black and the flywheel is blue. To me, it just looks a little bit unfinished. It does look a bit like Meccano. So I think I'm going to take my time, and we're going to do a little bit of repainting here to try and get everything to sort of blend in. Hopefully it will come out okay. So a little bit of enamel paint, I think, on the pumping part of it itself, which will take me longer, but that's half of the pleasure of doing these kits. What I'm going to do is take these individual pieces and just wash them over in methylated spirit, just to try and get any oil and grease that might be on the metal bits themselves. I think that should probably do it. Okay, so I think I've got something worked out for the painting. This is going to be very Freddy in the Shed, very Heath Robinson, but it means that, I don't know if you can see that, I've got to make about, what, 30 or 35 of these little tiny hooks to hang up the metal pieces while I sort of spray them. So perhaps I'd better get on with that with my bit of wire and my wire cutters, and then we'll go from there. So yeah, no reactions so far, so it looks like it's got onto the metal absolutely fine. And I think that's going to work. I just need to reverse them round now and do the other side, and then just leave them to dry. Probably going to take a while to dry, but it does get quite warm in the summer house. But yeah, I think it's going to work. It looks a bit crazy, but I do believe it's going to work. Well, everything's now blue. I can say that about it. Mixed feelings about using this process. I think I put everything too close together, so when the force of the spray can hit it, it all kind of like moved about, and a lot of pieces did touch. Also, again, flapping about in the wind, it's very difficult to try and build up any layers of paint, so I've had to put it on quite thick, and that's given me a few little runs here and there, which I'm hoping aren't going to show when I get to put it all together on the model. But yeah, overall it's certainly sort of blue, but a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But it's very difficult, you know, to do with such individual pieces. So I'm just going to let this dry now. It's going to take quite a while to harden off. Probably going to leave this for about a week in here. Hopefully we get some warmer weather between the showers and it can all kind of harden off, because I say it'd be very easy to chip and scrape when I come to put it together. But there you go, it's blue. Here's what it is, and I think it's going to look better blue than it would have done if I'd have let it just stay in bare metal, but maybe not. That's just my opinion, but you know, you might feel differently. But anyway, that's that part of it. I'm going to take a break now today, and then I'll go back on to building the steam engine. Right, we come out of time lapse again. Having a slight issue with the filler plug here on the boiler. Just doesn't seem to really want to take up the thread. It's almost like the thread might have a little bit of swarf or something in the pitch on the thread there, but normally these things just screw in really easy by hand, because you have to take these out, of course, to fill the boiler. But this one not going in as smooth as I would want. It seems to get quite tight, so just going to have a little look at that. I don't want to force it and strip the thread of the boiler, but that's a bit unusual as well. Normally these things just go in very easy, so I'll give that a little bit of closer look. Just going to try and just clean the thread out best I can with a little bit of oil and a microporous cloth here. If there is any swarf that's remained in the thread when it was cut, hoping this just might be able to clear it out a little bit. I'm a little disappointed at this stage, because obviously I want to get on and try and build the Meccano side of it, and I didn't expect a problem with the water filler. It's quite vital. Obviously this is the one piece you're going to keep taking out every time you fill the boiler, so it's quite vital that the filler goes in nice and easy. You don't want a kind of chewed up thread causing you problems every time you have to try and seal the boiler. And of course, if you don't get it in tight, it's not going to seal the boiler and you're not going to get the pressure. So it's the one thing that you need to have a decent thread. It's not the kind of like screw it in and then forget about it. Okie dokie. Well, that's cleaned a little bit of that out. Maybe it is just a very small piece of swarf. No, that's gone dead tight again. That, see, that really isn't very happy. I can't move that with my fingers, and if I damage the thread in the boiler, then I'm completely screwed. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed at this stage, to be honest. Didn't expect this. Okay, let me have a little think about it. Maybe I'll go and get one of my other Wilesco models and maybe try one of the fillers from that, and hopefully it might be the thread on the filler itself. But I've had a look at it. It looks okay to me. Can't see any damage. I can't see that that's not properly formed. Interesting time. Got the pressure safety release valve for my D18 model, which is a much bigger tank than this one, much bigger boiler, but let's see, hopefully it will be the same thread. And yeah, that's gone tight as well. Oh, bugger. So that's telling me that it's the thread in the boiler itself that's not formed properly. Oh, it's so disappointing. So what I'm going to have to do now is sort of force this in, which is really what I don't want to do. You can feel it biting on the threads there. Hope that this reforms the thread. It's going in, but worrying times. If I'm stripping it, it's just, I am very disappointed at this stage, I must admit. This is so crucial for the model. If this doesn't work, then you can't pressurise the boiler. Right, that's okay, that's gone fully home. Let's take it out. I did put some oil on the thread. Oh, you can see how dark that is. You can see how that's cut into the thread. That wasn't ideal. Let's try the original one again. Okay, that's better. I think I'm going to get away with it. I'm starting to breathe again, but that's a little disappointing from Wilesco's kind of quality control. I think they should just possibly check it before they send it out. That caused me a little bit of a problem. I'm just going to oil this again. Don't know if you can see that on camera. I'm just going to put that in. So if I didn't have the other safety release valve, that's probably, the threads are slightly, I say worn, they've been used a few more times. Okay, alright, yep, we're getting away with that. Okay, whew, I'm breathing again, no harm done. So yeah, a little bit of a kind of, yeah, stomach clenching, yeah, arse cheek clenching moment now. That seems okay now, so just a little bit of misforming on the thread there, but that could have been quite crucial to the whole model. So anyway, pleased about that. So yeah, let's just take a step back, and that's it. I'm pretty much finished. One thing that's slightly different on this one, you've got the exhaust that comes out of the piston here, just goes into a little collection tray where you're going to get the steam oil and water mix. But the chimney itself, sometimes they reroute that under the model and it comes out into a little box just where the sort of chimney is. So you do get a little bit of steam come out of the chimney, which is quite nice. This one isn't going to be doing that. I suppose you could probably rework this if you was engineeringly minded, but yeah, it's a little bit of a shame. So the chimney is just purely for decoration. I'm not going to get any condensation or steam coming out of it, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's it. That's the model built. So other than a couple of little bits which sort of heart-stopping moments, but it all seems really good. So this is where I shall stop this video. I'm not going to fire it up until we get the pump Meccano bit built, and that'll be on part 2, and that's going to be quite interesting. The instructions on that, I think I did show you before, are sort of a lot more involved than building the engine itself. Yeah, there's quite a lot of stages to go through. It is just very much Meccano to build out, and as you would have seen, I've painted some of the main elements because it just looked a little bit unfinished to me. So that'll be coming up in part 2 on Freddy in the Shed 2. So there's the old thumbs. Cheers, thanks for sticking with it. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to part 2, and I'll look forward to bringing that to you when I get the time to finish the model, and then we can power it up and steam it for the first time. But as for now, as always, subscribe for more. Give it a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. There's the old thumb from me. Please stay safe in these worrying times, and of course I'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers now.